Morning, folks. As you can see, I've got these journals. Everybody's been asking me what I've been up to over this lockdown. Not a lot of people know, but I got diagnosed with breast cancer back this time last year. Threw myself into a bit of a tiz-was, as you do. Took to watching YouTube, all the boring stuff, you know. And of course lockdown kicked in. Thought, oh crikey, what I'm going to do with myself. Couldn't go out, in recovery anyway. Had an operation in the January. Couldn't have chemo, but I did have radiotherapy, but that sort of knocked me up a little bit. I couldn't do a fat lot, so I just started watching YouTube. And being a crafter, I always watch the crafting shows, Shabby Dabby Doodah, Patricia Viramontes, Scrapbooking with Me, the Book Vandal Shop, lots of different things. And I found these ladies, this sort of group of ladies that make these journals. I thought, wow, they're good. Using scrapbooking pages, which I've got a lot of because I'm an ex-scrapbooker. I used to do a lot of scrapbooking 10 years ago, but I sort of lost a bit of faith, really, lost a bit of heart. Lost my mum and my sister, and I always used to do cards for them and scrapbook pictures, scrapbook pages with pictures of me, my mum and my sister, and it used to be a bit upsetting, so I just stopped doing it. Kept all my scrapbook pages, kept all my inks, as you do. Thought one day I'll get back to it. Well, I got back to it and I've gone mental. First one I did was this one. This is just using an old fantasy scrapbook pad. It was basically an old foil. It's quite stiff and it's a bit rough around the edges, you know. It was my first one. But I was quite proud of myself. Thought, wow, I like that. You know, so there you go. That was the first one. Thought, yeah, I can do this. I'm going to make another one. So then I made another one. But as all you scrapbookers will tell you, you don't finish what you do. You move on to a new one because you get bored. These are some fabulous pads that I got off Create and Craft called Stamperia pads, and they do all sorts of different themes. This one's called Imagine. It's to do with art, and I fell in love with it, and I thought I've got to have that pad, so I ordered that one. This is basically a load of envelopes, as you can see, all joined up. It's a bit weak where it's, you know, a bit sort of flimsy. I know now what to do. I know I've got to use lace or ribbon or bookbinding tape, or use something on the spine just to stiffen it up. Masking tape they use, so that's another one that I did. Basically I've done loads. There's loads of them, different themes. This one's like a gardening one about bees, and I haven't actually finished this one. This one was supposed to be for me gardening notes for this year, but I never got round to doing much gardening this year, you know. But yeah, that was the plan, but I'll use it next year. Put a few notes in there, my favourite flowers, etc. But they're ideal to give as gifts as well for people. And these are just envelopes, as you can see, just all stacked up. You can't, I mean, they do use old envelopes that have been, if you undo them with a craft knife or slit the top very carefully, you can reuse old envelopes, and that's what a lot of these ladies do in America. This is a sewing theme. Basically, I love sewing. I grew up with sewing, became a seamstress. That was my job, before I got poorly. So anything to do with sewing and anything old-fashioned, like pattern pieces, old adverts, things like that. It's ideal. This is meant to be a journal, diary type stroke thing for me to keep swatches of fabric. That's what you'd do. You'd like attach bits of fabric down here and then pattern numbers, etc, etc, to keep you, remind you what you've made and things like that, and that's what it's all about. But obviously some of this stuff is just for show, really, you know, just to look nice, because we like looking. Scrapbookers like to hoard and keep things and look at fabrics and don't use them. As anyone will tell you who knows me, my fabric stash is massive, as is my scrapbooking stash. Now, another lady I started watching, she does a lot with book pages, uses an old book, joins them together, puts journaling cards in, inspirational quotes. You can send these, put them in journals, stick them in the journals, join them up, use them as a book, an opening journal type thing, like a page, add them to your folios or whatever, and they're just pretty, they're just nice to look at. I suppose a lot of people think, crikey, what on earth, what's the point in all that? But this has helped me, this has kept me going, basically, because if I didn't have this, then I don't know what I'd be doing, you know. Probably would have just tucked to my bed and give up. But this is ideal for anyone out there who's, anyone can do it. Hopefully I'll give you a few tutorials on how to do these things. This isn't my idea, none of these are my ideas. They're all things that I've watched. All these fabulous ladies on YouTube have given me these ideas, and it's given me this idea to do what I'm doing now, to tell you guys that, hang on, there's something out there that anyone can do. I mean, this is a scrapbook style book folio where you stick on everything that you like, everything that you love. I love collecting things. I love these sort of things, you know, these kiddie books, images, anything to do with old shops. I love old shops and old pictures of anything old, you know, what it was like in the olden days. I love lace, I love lace, you know, so I use that. I love any of these sort of papers that look grungy, or, you know, even handwriting. My mum's handwriting was like that, you know, so I love that sort of thing. So anything, it's anything to do with what you love, really. And this is intended to be like a travel journal type thing. So if you're going to go to Bliss Hill or something, you know, you could put some ephemera in there, or memorabilia, or things like that. Memories. It's all to do with memories. As you can see, unfinished. That's me though. Moving on to other stuff all the while. Obviously I've gone on to Christmas now. This is another one. It's sort of half finished, not finished, but this was intended for, like, you're supposed to put like your little tickets in here, little bus tickets and things like that. That's what they're for. And tags. These are obviously luggage tags, you know, what you'd put on your luggage. That's what they're sort of supposed to represent, you know. But obviously they're not, because I haven't been anywhere. Furthest I've been is Lidl. So yeah, well, if you can take something from this, then all good. Anyway guys, I'm going to do some show and tell about some little card folios that I've done, some Crimbo ones. So thanks for watching, and I'll get back to you. Thanks guys.